Hi, amazing, wonderful you. This is Susanna Mittermeier. I just wanted to say a quick hi after my speech at the Neurology Conference in Amsterdam, and it's been absolutely amazing. I am so thrilled of what's possible nowadays. So I spoke about pragmatic psychology, and the conference was about neurology and stroke, and there were people from all kinds of different modalities, which was really exciting. So there were doctors, mathematicians, and people with very many different backgrounds. And that's usually not the case, because it's like, either it's, for cardiology or it's for psychiatry. But it was a very diverse conference with very many people, and it was so amazing to talk. So I spoke about pragmatic psychology, I spoke about the bars, and it was so amazing to see how, partly it's what you say, and it's like the different view that pragmatic psychology is presenting to the world, which is so exciting. And so that's one part. The second part is what you be and how you present it, and not like doing it perfectly with the perfect words or whatever, but it's more about, what if what you bring to the world is an expression of what you be? And so that's what I do, because for me, pragmatic psychology is about celebrating diversity, starting to have a different conversation in the world where like disabilities are discovered as abilities. And it's not about, it's not about people being labeled, but being differently abled, because, people have their different resources of what they're capable of. And then difference in our world is still something that is categorized into wrongness and rather than strongness. And so difference could be strongness, and that's what pragmatic psychology talks about in very many different ways. And it's so amazing to see how this different paradigm is starting to be heard. Like I talk about today, we have choice. Our past doesn't determine our future. We can change our future, create a different future, and that can be heard. And like the different tools of, your point of view creates your reality, and how insidious that is. Those points of view, often we don't even notice we have gazillion points of view that create our world and limit us in so many different ways. And it was really, really incredible to see how that was heard, and also speaking from what I be and the difference. So if you're trying to bring something in the world from the point of view you have to do it like everybody else, how is that working? If you bring something to the world in a way that expresses who you are and your being, that's a totally different ball game. And so it was so incredible to be heard and seen. I can show you the batch. I call it batch, and it's so cool. Like this different approach of pragmatic psychology, being invited to a neurology conference, it's really cool to see how that is being invited and received. And also then after the conference, I've been talking to different people, mathematicians and surgeons and all of them, and how they create what they create. And it's been really amazing to see how all these different people are so innovative, so creative in what they bring to the world. And so for example, I talked about how your point of view creates your psychology, but also your body. And then there was another woman, she creates special glasses that not only change your eyesight, but also your way of perceiving the world. And it's been so incredible to see how she even, like, her point of view is, hey, we have to connect different things. It's not like we can have this perspective and this perspective as separate, but your body and your psychology goes together. So it's really cool how the things we talk about is something that starts, like, it's spreading into the world, and people, different scientists and different people who create things are creating from a different paradigm. And that's something that I was so inspired today to see how there's like this different paradigm out in the world that scientists and creators, innovators are picking up and using for their inventions. You know, I talked to the person, one of the people that was at the conference was the person who invented the 3D printer and the notebook. And he's a mathematician, and he was incredible how he said, yeah, you know, he's so grateful for the psychological point of view that I presented, because it's so important to, you know, like not have a point of view, and his, like, how that reflects in his science and research work. It's been incredible to just engage and interact with different people. And, you know, what different world can we create where we don't function from what has been here all along, same, and then trying just to improve it a little bit, but really letting go of the past and really starting to create a future that works for all of us. And seeing so many amazing, brilliant people at the conference today, it started to give me this, wow, we do have so many resources in form of so many different people with different perspectives. How about using this even more than we have ever used it before, and go for creating change in the world? And also, what do you know? Like, what do you uniquely know? What ideas do you have that you can use to create a different world? Like, really ask yourself. Like, usually we go, oh, I don't have a title, it doesn't, you know, or I don't have the education, or I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too this. This is just boring excuses, you know. Like, stop it. Really ask yourself, how do I see the world that's different? What do I see that nobody else sees? And I'm telling you, it's so valuable. Start using what you know. Your difference creates a different world. It really does. And what if it's time to acknowledge it and write down your ideas, you know? Even if you think they're crazy, and especially the crazy ones. When I started with Pragmatic Psychology, I thought I was crazy, you know? But I knew that this is what the future requires. And I couldn't explain it, and it didn't make sense to me logically. I just knew that's a different perspective that the world requires. And I talked to the founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas, and he too, he keeps saying this is a paradigm that the world requires. And I start seeing now, like, I founded Pragmatic Psychology, I don't know, many years ago. Was it 2000? I don't know, 11 or something. Yeah, I think so, 10 or 11. So it's been so many years now, or for me it's many years. 1 year is a lot. So it's been very many years. But I didn't see how that, you know, different paradigm of Pragmatic Psychology what that would create and how it would turn out. I just did it because I knew that this is valuable, and I followed my knowing, and I trusted me, even if I didn't have all the informations, even if I didn't have all the ducks in a row, far from that. And now I see how it plays out. Like, I get invited to neurology, psychology, psychiatry conferences all over the world, not only Europe, like Asia, Japan, like more than I have time for. So it's so cool to see how that perspective is being like really so of much interest. And did I know that many years ago? No, but I followed my knowing, and I trusted that I know what I know. So what if you trust you knowing what you know, rather than trying to do what's right, trying to do what's already out there and getting it right and doing it right? What if you know what you know and follow that and start trusting you? This is valuable for the future we're creating on this planet. And conferences like this are a huge acknowledgement for what I create, and also for what other people create, and see how that is absolutely creating a difference in the world. So thank us for us, and what else is possible. And I'm gonna head to the airport now. And I even got a little isn't that cute? They give you little certifications. Isn't that so cute? Anyway, so have too much fun being you, and let's create a world that works for us. Mwah. Bye.